Yes, I will go. This is the history of the Brooklyn Seventh-day Adventist Church. Jesus said, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." And each disciple said, "Yes, I will go." The roots of the Brooklyn Seventh-day Adventist Church span many nations. Our heritage can be traced from both Scandinavian and Italian lineage, expanding as other language groups and nationalities join the church. Our Italian heritage began when Ole Andrews Olsen, president of the General Conference, encouraged his niece Vesta Cash to become a missionary to the many Italian immigrants settling in New York City. Her ministry led to the establishment of 2 Italian-American churches. Our African-American heritage began in 1961 when I, Helen Mead, became one of the first Black members of the Brooklyn Italian-American Seventh-day Adventist Church. March of 1964, the Bay Ridge Church and the Brooklyn Italian-American Church merged and shortly thereafter became a church of many nations. This church was called simply the Brooklyn Seventh-day Adventist Church. Shortly thereafter, our Hispanic heritage began. Eugene Torres and his wife Mirtha were the first Hispanic family to be baptized in the Brooklyn Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Greetings to all of you in our beloved church and congregation back in Brooklyn, New York. We're excited. My wife and I, Carol, were members of that church. In fact, I was baptized in April 13, 1968. My brother Eugene was baptized before me, and Berta, and the family were members right there at that church. And after my wife and I got married in 1969, then we left New York City and went to school. Well, let me tell you the rest of the story, and that is that after we went to Pacific Union College, we left there and started working as a Bible worker in a place called Dover, Delaware. And the Lord blessed, and the following year I was invited to enter into the ministry, even though I still had not had a bachelor's degree, which I was told that if I didn't have a bachelor's degree, I could never get into the ministry. Well, man places and God displaces. And so I then was asked, and my wife, to help train the pastors at that conference, the Chesapeake Conference. From Chesapeake, we moved over to a place called New Mexico, Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I had 5 churches in that district. And after that, we moved to Oregon, and from Oregon, I became a conference evangelist in Kansas City, Missouri. And then I became a senior pastor in Jacksonville, Florida, and then from Jacksonville, Florida, we went to Cincinnati, Ohio, when I was a senior pastor again. Then from there, we left to be missionaries to the islands of Palau. And from there, we returned back and became the secretary of the Greater New York Conference. From there, we went to Amazing Facts. From Amazing Facts, we went to the division to be a trainer and director of training for ASI, North American Division. And then later on, I became president of One Micronesia. And presently, we are working for Adventist World Radio. But in between all that time, my wife and I were led by the Lord to start a school called Mission College of Evangelism. Some people call it Black Hills Health and Education Center. And in that mission college, we began to train people in evangelism. You may know some of the people that were trained, like David Asherick, or John Brasho was one of our students at some point. And so we were used by God to train a lot of people who have now been serving the Lord all over the country and all over the world. And we're grateful for that event. Back in New York, Pastor Halbert Thompson was the one who baptized me, And it has never been a turning around. In other words, once we were baptized, we've always gone forward. And we pray that those of you who are coming back to this family reunion will remember that our call is not to go backwards, but to go forward, to look unto Him who is the author and finisher of our faith. May God bless you all. Greetings from my wife Carol and our family, and we look forward to the great reunion in the kingdom. God bless you.
Our Trinidadian heritage is very rich. Pastor Earl Baldwin left his ministry in Trinidad to become the first Black Brooklyn Seventh-day Adventist pastor. He is our guest speaker today. Pastor Edley Benoit was our first Haitian pastor. In 2006, the Greater New York Conference sponsored a mission trip to the Ukraine, the eastern section of the Ukraine. It was my pleasure to travel and work along with several former Brooklyn pastors, including Pastor Dormer, Pastor Linford Martin, Earl Baldwin, and Orrid Mitchell. Yes, I will go. Currently, Mark Pierre and his wife Maya are working as teachers in Ethiopia, where Mark is serving as a dean of the 9th grade and Maya as director of community life, planning the advisory curriculum and other dormitory-related activities. We're still going, Brooklyn. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" Then Brooklyn Church said, "Here am I, send me."